What really raises one's indignation against suffering is not suffering intrinsically, but the senselessness of suffering, meaning we sometimes actually really and truly become frustrated, desperate, angry, and aggressive, not necessarily against suffering itself, because we sometimes love suffering. We ultimately and eventually embrace it, because neither can we control suffering, nor can we escape it, nor change it, nor manipulate it through our actions, behaviors, and success, because suffering is common to all of us in one way or another. Everyone suffers. Each and every one of us is going to have to suffer and struggle, at least necessarily, either little or much, in one way or another, and that is inevitable. And we don't know as to what it is going to happen and how it is going to unfold and unravel, because it's an independent sovereign entity controlled by the universal mechanisms that neither can we understand nor decipher on the basis of our limited knowledge, rational mind, reasonable experiences, etc. So obviously, we are not necessarily frustrated, angry, aggressive against suffering itself, because suffering is necessary for the creation and development of not only integrity, morality, character, truthfulness, wisdom, intelligence, but also for the achievement of greatness, admiration, respect, honor in our lives. If we really want to become respectable, admirable, rational, sovereign, independent, then we have to experience suffering. We must embrace it. We must nurture it. But the problem is, suffering also is empty in one way or another. Suffering has a hollowness and an emptiness about it that can neither be understood nor explained entirely, nor can it be escaped or evaded by anyone in the world, because suffering is unavoidable and necessary. Suffering cannot be avoided if it's associated with us naturally, intrinsically. So suffering ultimately has its own meaninglessness. It becomes insignificant, worthless, aimless after a certain point in time, even though it seems to be meaningful at first, or in the first place. It seems to have a lot of character, wisdom, rationality about itself, but as we experience more and more suffering into our lives, we become exhausted and tired and fatigued, and our mind finally tells us that suffering may be worthless, meaningless. After all, it may be hollow from the inside. It does not have anything inside of itself, and that may well be the case, who knows. But the meaninglessness of suffering is the curse of suffering that makes it so unbearable and dangerous and frustrating.